Welcome back to another episode of Another Pokémon Podcast. My name is Galutrad.
My name is Becs.
And today we are going to be talking about Pokémon Stadium.
Woo! And there goes the battle.
That's right. But before we get started, how have you been, Bex?
I've been doing pretty good. I have to travel next week for work. So, there's the fun of, oh my gosh, I have to make sure I pack, and we're a little worried about things slipping through the cracks while I'm gone. When I'm not working and when I'm not researching for this podcast, I have been trying to read again. I was doing really well with my book challenge this year, and then I kind of fell off. Other than that, just tearing up Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know what happened. I dropped it, and now I'm fully back in.
And I have been waiting for you to tear it up.
know,
I have a
I'm
comment
sorry.
with a date of my theories, and I've been wanting to talk about it with you.
Well, I've gotten pretty far. I'm excited to talk about it with you. I'm just plugging away when I can. But what have you been up to? What's going on with you?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of important projects at work, which has been going really well. I've been playing a lot of Pokémon Stadium in preparation for this episode, and I also have started a play session of games at work. We play during our lunch and 15-minute breaks, and we've been playing 9 Parchments, which is a kind of wizarding Diablo-style game, and then also Enter the Gungeon, which is a roguelike bullet shooter. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with playing games, as I always do. Other than that, not really a whole lot going on with me, to be honest.
Except for Pokémon Stadium.
Pokémon Stadium.
Yeah, I've never heard of those games. I'll have to check them out. You said they're available on Switch?
Yeah, they are all, and I think they're also available on pretty much every other thing. They're both indie games, 9 Parchments and Into the Gungeon.
I'm glad you found people to play with that actually play like a normal person instead of like a raging anger monster, which is me.
It's so hard to get you to play co-op games with me. Speaking of finding people, we have got some listener feedback.
We do.
So if you're okay with it, Bex, I'll get into it with the first listener feedback here.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So from Restray, sent us a message on Discord saying, listen to your podcast. Loved it. Your voices are both great. Made me think back to my childhood and Pokemon Red for the first time. Good times.
Aww, I love that. I love helping other people feel as nostalgic as we do when we talk about this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I've also got a little bit of insight on Restray in the sense that Restray is part of the Otter Kingdom community, which is Galutrad related stuff, and I know for a fact that they are currently playing through Leaf Green.
Ooh, I love. Okay, this might be a hot take. I love Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Fire Red and Leaf Green are fire.
They're no. Yes, they are fire. They're exactly what I needed at the time, because I think didn't they come out after the Hoenn games?
I believe that they did come out after the Hoenn games.
So they have that kind of bright, kind of vibrant style to them. Yeah,
it was nice. As someone who grew up with the original games on Game Boy Color, which had some color to them.
Right.
It was so awesome seeing them just perfectly made.
Well, and something I took for granted as a kid, as an adult, if you go several days or weeks even without picking up a game, you're like, wait, where am I? What was I doing? And that game introduced the kind of, this is on the last episode of you playing Fire Red, and it showed you in black and white. Yeah, what you did. Mm-hmm.
Didn't it also come with did it come with the little connector that made it so that you could wirelessly transfer, or?
That was I know for sure that the Hoenn games had those that came with it. I don't know. I don't remember Fire Red and Leaf Green did or not.
Okay, I can't remember. I know I had one, but I don't think I would have bought it, or rather had my parents buy it at the time.
No, it came. I'm pretty sure it came with, because I would not
with
have
one
bought
of
it
them
either.
Yeah.
But no, I appreciate that. Hey, Pokemon, if you can hear this, the Pokemon Company, if you could bring that back, or Game Freak, I guess would be better.
They don't really need to now, because everything connects just wirelessly. I know, but they should bring back accessories.
I'm sorry, not the wireless transfer. I'm talking about the flashback, reminding my old old brain.
Yeah.
What did I do 5 days ago the last time I played this?
Yeah, it would be really nice.
Yeah. It's hard enough remembering buttons. Like, as you know, like my friend Stephanie and I are playing through The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, anytime you switch consoles and stuff.
It's so hard to remember. I start playing. Last time I started playing, a clicker immediately attacked. I was like, how do I run? What do I do? So yeah, it'd be nice if we could, have give us old timers a little breaksy, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much, Restray, for that message.
Oh, yeah,
do you want to go ahead and take the next one?
Yeah, of course. So we did it's very exciting.
Yeah.
We got some 5-star reviews we got a few on Spotify. We got a few on Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
Which, in case anyone doesn't know, that really helps our channel find new audiences and really kind of puts us out there and gets us higher in the search results and all of that. So we really appreciate those ratings. If you really in your heart feel like we deserve 5 stars, please give us that. If you don't leave a review. Yeah, just don't. But no, and on a serious note, we got a lovely 5-star review from AZP is number 1.
Hopefully going to change their username to APP soon.
Oh, no,
it's a competition
now.
now.
Oh, it's not. No. We love our AZP.
We do love our AZP friends.
But it says, this is the first time I'll be able to say that I've been around since the beginning of a show. I'm so excited for this to grow over time. I first heard about this as a concept in AZP. Also, great to get a Pokemon podcast from Sixfive. I started and all I had to listen to was a short bonus episode. I had to wait for episode 1 and it was worth the wait.
Well, we are so glad to know that it was worth the wait in episode 1, favorite gym leaders, which was a great episode.
Yeah,
honestly,
we had a good time with it.
It was a lot of fun to record for sure.
So yeah, again, thank you, AZP is number 1. That was very kind of you, and we really appreciate the feedback for sure. Galutrad, didn't you before we really got started, didn't you churn up some organic feedback?
I did, yeah. So I posted out on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, asking people who their favorite gym leaders were, and we did get a couple responses to that.
And they all said Flannery.
No.
Oh.
Actually, I don't think anybody said Flannery.
Hurtful.
I know. However, one of them agreed with me, and that is Crispy Nintendo, who said, it's definitely got to be Giovanni. Anytime I think of a gym leader, he's the first that comes to mind.
How, Crispy? How could you do this?
He is the greatest. Giovanni
That's like
is so
Ganondorf
cool.
is my favorite character in Zelda.
And he is.
Oh.
The new Ganondorf.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Crispy, for that comment. Also got a response to that tweet from Blue Fox Ranger 1, who says, my personal most iconic gym leader is Piers. He's the first dark type gym leader, the first gym leader to have his own theme, which rocks, and he's just a kind person who does his best to help you during the post game. Overall, a pretty memorable fella. Black square emoji, white square emoji, black square emoji, white square emoji, which is a representative of Pierce for sure, because he's got that black
scheme.
That black and white color scheme.
Did you get your list from this feedback?
No, I didn't actually, but that is
fan servicing?
Funny. No, yeah, that is kind of funny that some of the feedback did totally agree with me. So I don't know if maybe the fans just like me more than you. Who knows?
If anybody would like to agree with me on anything, that would be great. No, that was before.
That was before.
This is now.
So thank you, Blue Fox Ranger 1, for leaving that comment on our Twitter posts. And to any of you out there who want a chance to have your comment be read out by us, or just want to leave some awesome feedback or say some cool things to us, you can reach out to us on our social media, such as X or Instagram, at Another PKMN Pod. Or, of course, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, and we will read your comments there as well. And it's super appreciated.
You know what it sounds like to me?
What does it sound like to you?
Sounds like you're about to end listener feedback without the most important piece of listener feedback that we've received all day.
What important piece of listener feedback?
I think you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't think we have to actually do that comment.
So Queen Allie from my day job, who is my friend.
Oh, gosh.
Thought it would be hilarious to pick on Galutrad and said, I would like to request a podcast episode dedicated to you rating Pokemon on how much they'd enjoy delicious, gooey, stretchy mozzarella sticks. Snorlax would tear up some mozzies.
No, absolutely not.
So fun fact, Galutrad revealed his Achilles heel, which is that he hates mozzarella sticks. And it's true. I remember like we went to get K-dogs. We went to get Korean corn dogs. And I got a giant mozzarella stick, potato covered, glorious
You sure did.
corn dog. And he couldn't watch me eat it. Literally couldn't watch it. It freaks him out. It's gross to him.
There's something about cheese that gooey and both hard, not hard, but it's just gross. It's weird.
But yet he could eat pizza.
Because pizza's meant to have gooey cheese.
All right. Well, anyway, so Allie heard about this Achilles heel and has been relentless.
Relentlessly. She will just randomly text me photos
Sonic
of mozzarella sticks.
It's great. But that I think that's top tier listener feedback. I cannot believe you almost forgot.
Honestly, maybe we'll run a poll. Yeah, actually, you know what? We will, listeners. Right now, go to our Twitter page and you can vote on a poll, X page, and you can vote on a poll on whether or not we should do an episode on rating Pokemon based off of how much they would enjoy the gross mozzarella sticks.
Or we could do a poll instead of that, because I don't want to do that episode. We could do a poll on are mozzarella sticks gross or not.
There's a poll somewhere, so go and vote on it.
That's funny. No, thank you, Allie.
Oh, my goodness.
And that does remind me, I have to say, I think one of the most heartwarming experiences for me doing this is we're getting support from people that care about us that have never played Pokemon before.
Yeah.
That are truly just like, hey, I listened to episode 0 or episode 1. I didn't know what you were talking about, but it was entertaining. And it just warms my heart. I didn't even tell you this. My boss's mom.
Yeah.
Shout out to Patricia if you can hear this, but my boss's mom said, wait, what's a Pokemon? Oh, I'm gonna listen.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that cute?
That's so cute.
I love it. It made me happy.
Yeah. And of course, also all of the people that do enjoy Pokemon have found us organically, have found us via AZP, all of y'all, everyone in the Another Pokemon Podcast community who shows up. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We so much appreciate you listening. If you are too shy or just don't want to share feedback or anything, you can also help us just by sharing the show with your friends and family, telling people about the show. It goes a long way. So thank you so much.
Play it and mute it. That's what I do with Galutrad streams sometimes. Ouch. When I want hold on. When I want to support you, but I can't. I can't listen.
I often am stream. Well, not often, but a lot of the times I do a lot of bigger streams while you're working.
Yeah.
I do 24-hour streams.
Normally my 40 hours is a normal work week. My like 70-hour work weeks is when you stream the most. I'm like, oh.
I always choose the best times for you to do 24-hour live streams.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. House sitting, whatever. But anyway, why don't we jump into it?
Yeah, let's talk Pokemon Stadium.
So for those of you who may not be familiar with this game, I did make a little bit of an intro so that you can just have like a quick synopsis of what this game even is. And
That's so thoughtful.
Oh, thank you. And then we'll dive into the meat of the episode, the good sandwich deli meat.
The slowpoke tail.
No. Oh, and sorry, I'm a little scattered, but I also brought that none of you can see but me and Galutrad, but it's very exciting anyway. I have an original
from your childhood.
From my childhood Pokemon Stadium Battle Guide magazine
with Mewtwo on the cover as well as Blastoise and Charizard.
Yeah, and you can well, you guys can't see, but you can see where I took a pen as a child and like doodled Mewtwo's outline.
The outline. He is very popped there.
He's very popped. But yeah, it's a cute little guide. I have a thing for video game guides in general, and it clearly started in my youth.
Yes.
Because I have every Pokemon game guide that I can think of anyway, except for the original Gen 3 guide and then the original Red, Blue, Yellow guides. I don't have those.
I'm not even sure if they released guides for those.
Even like kind of aftermarket guides, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know.
They had to have released at least Gen 3 because I have a silver and gold guide somewhere.
Yeah.
Johto guide.
Maybe we'll do episodes on that.
Yeah. But it's got like different like things, different tips and tricks, different fun facts about the game. Got the whole breakdown of like what each trainer in Pokemon Stadium has. It has the little Pokedex in here. It's really cool. It's a very cool little guide, and I hope you enjoyed kind of looking through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, back to my intro. Sorry.
Yep.
Pokemon Stadium is an N64 game that first released to Japanese audiences on April 30th, 1999, where it was known as Pokemon Stadium 2, successor to the Japan-only released game Pokémon Stadium. And it would make its way to North American, European, and Australian markets the following year. While mostly known for its turn-based strategy Pokemon battles, it also has other features including mini-games and a Pokemon-only Game Boy player. This game can be enjoyed solo or with other trainers.
Yeah. So Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium.
What are your immediate thoughts?
On Pokemon Stadium?
Talk to me. Tell me everything.
So there's something that you mentioned in your intro, which was beautifully written, by the way. It had a lot of great information. I think the biggest thing is the fact that I don't know if a lot of people know that Pokemon Stadium is actually Pokemon Stadium 2 in Japan.
Right. Yeah.
The thing that kind of was an interesting take to me, and maybe this was just based off of our childhoods, but I don't remember it for the stadium mode that much. I remember it mostly for the kids club as a kid.
Same. Yes.
Which makes a lot of sense to be a kid.
Yeah.
Because the stadium was hard.
It still is.
It still is hard. I've been playing through it, and all I can say is thank Nintendo and Pokemon for retries, and because the gym league battle and the stadium is so difficult.
Totally. Yeah. And I almost felt like we can dive into it a little bit more when we talk through it, but I almost felt like while I was playing it as an adult, because I thought, oh yeah, I remember this being tough as a kid, but I'm grown now. It won't be tough anymore. And I remember you know how the Nintendo, because I for the purpose of this research, I did not boot up my old N64 and plug it in and do all that. I used my Nintendo Switch online because it's convenient. It's there. I'm already on Tears of the Kingdom. I might as well switch over to Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium, yeah.
So I was playing on that, and you know the feature where you can like rewind.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Guess how many times I rewound.
I think. Now it doesn't sound right, but okay.
I pressed the rewind button several times.
Yes.
I think probably at least 10 times. I tried to restart this one trainer, and I was like, I give up.
Oh my goodness.
And that was my contribution to playing Pokemon Stadium. Dratini kept using Wrap, and I was wrapped, and I couldn't get out.
Oh man, yeah, Wrap and I think Bind are some nasty moves in Pokemon Stadium.
Tentacruel and Dratini be using those a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Onyx as well. Obviously, he's a big one for that. But it's also weird because like something that I think that a lot of, I guess I shouldn't be generalizing like that, but myself personally, I go into Pokemon battles, and despite the levels being the same, I look at it and it's like, oh yeah, this is a level 50 Caterpie versus my level 50 Zapdos. Of course my Zapdos is going to win.
Yeah.
And then the Caterpie attacks, and in my brain I'm like, that's not going to take any health off at all, and it takes like a decent chunk.
It seems like mechanically the game is easier, but like there's just something I really don't know. Like if I was not my age, I would think the game was cheating, because it just every time you think you've got it, something happens where you just don't.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very strangely challenging.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very strangely challenging. So yeah, other than that, like I said, the biggest takeaway from your intro, I think, is the fact that it is Pokemon Stadium 2 in Japan. And if you don't mind, I'd love to talk a little bit about what is Pocket Monsters or Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, I don't. I'm just guessing before you start, and please, delete me if you don't want to hear this.
Sure.
But isn't it like, wasn't Pokemon Stadium or Pocket Monsters or whatever the original one called? Wasn't that like almost like a Pokemon Stadium Lite?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
In the international release of Pokemon Stadium, what was Pokemon Stadium 2 in Japan, it had all 151 Pokemon available to you. Technically, 150. I'm not actually sure about the 151.
You can definitely
fight.
Get Mew in the game.
Oh, I guess if you were able to transfer it from the transfer pack. So yeah, it has, yes. So in Pokemon Stadium in Japan, which was released August 1st, 1998, so a year before the release of Pokemon Stadium 2 in Japan, you only had access to 40 Pokemon.
Oh, wow.
40. And it's not even all of the fully evolved forms. For instance, my boy, Raichu, not in the game.
Oh my
Pikachu
gosh.
is, though.
Okay.
They put Pikachu in.
Well, yeah, of course they put Pikachu. That's still better than, what was the Wii game that came out that was like kind of a battle royale?
I think it was Pokemon Battle Revolution.
Yeah, that's still more Pokemon than that game. So, because I'm pretty sure, wasn't there only like 20 in that game?
I don't remember. I actually never played Pokemon Battle Revolution.
It might have actually, I might be lying about it being on the Wii. It might have been on the Switch. Well, I played it in college. I couldn't remember who I played it with or anything, but there, it was definitely like almost like a Super Smash Brothers, but it was just Pokemon.
Interesting.
And it was like, I feel like it was less than 40 for sure. But yeah, so, I mean.
Yeah, more than that.
Beats that.
Something that is really cool about that, though, is that in that version, there was a tournament mode. And the tournament mode, actually, the CPUs that you would battle in tournament mode were actually based off of the competitors in a 1997 Pokemon tournament in Japan. So those competitors had their likeness and their teams put into Pokemon Stadium. They were
that's so
immortalized.
cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, isn't that cool? That's amazing.
I want to be immortalized. Hey, maybe they could put some podcast characters in the next game.
Probably not.
By the way, just segueing back really quick, you can absolutely get Mew in the game because it says on here, if you don't have Mew, you'll have to rent it for the R2 Master Cup. So you can rent Mew. I
guess maybe it's in round 2, which is something that I wouldn't have known because as a kid, I definitely never unlocked a round 2.
Yep.
But we will talk more about round 2 here in a little bit. One final thing that I wanted to mention about the Japanese original Pokemon Stadium was that if a player clears the Master Ball division on the level 1 to level 30 challenge with a Pikachu, that Pikachu can learn Surf.
And this is Pocket Monsters,
and
right?
This is Pocket Monsters Stadium.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But so those are all of the things that are unique to the original, like the actual Pokemon Stadium or Pocket Monsters Stadium. But we are here to talk about Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, the
international release.
The international release Pokemon Stadium, it was the first one to hit our shores, European shores, Australian shores, but Japan had the Pocket Monsters Stadium, and then they knew the game that we grew up with as
Pocket Monsters Stadium 2 or Pokemon
Stadium 2, yeah, which we'll talk about Pokemon Stadium 2 that we know later based on the Johto region, because we are not actually as familiar with that one. I remember like renting it from Blockbuster, but this was like prime childhood me. Pokemon Stadium.
Absolutely.
And Snap, but that's also another game for another time. But yeah, no, that's great. I love that. I remember like I knew about the fact that it was technically the second in the series, like a successor, a direct successor to Pocket Monsters Stadium, but I've never actually seen like gameplay. Like I've seen like what's that channel we watch with the Did You Know Gaming?
Did you know gaming?
Okay, there you go. Did you know? We've watched several, obviously a bajillion Pokemon episodes from Did You Know Gaming and other video game where they tell you fun facts about the gaming or series or like Easter eggs or like stuff like that. And I've seen some minute footage of Pocket Monsters Stadium in that game, but that's it.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. You actually too, you can get Surfing Pikachu in this game too. Yeah.
You can. It's just under a different method to get Surfing Pikachu in Pokemon Stadium in the international version. But in the international version, there are a bunch of different game modes that you have accessible to you. Those include Free Battle, which is where you can battle other players or CPUs with stadium rules. There's also within the Free Battle mode, you can choose the Anything Goes rules, which is the only way that you're able to battle with anywhere from 1 to 6 Pokemon. Normally under the stadium rules, they lock you into choosing 3 of your 6.
Right.
Which is interesting because that is something that I think influenced how competitive Pokemon works. Because now in competitive Pokemon, it's double battles, which is not a thing in Pokemon Stadium. But you do bring in a full team of 6, but then you only get to choose 4 of them for the battle.
Right.
So there's a little bit of like, oh, they've got Charizard and Moltres, or or they've got Charizard and Blastoise, but are they going to bring, which one are they going to bring?
Well, so you do bring your team of 6 to the actual Pokemon Stadium tournaments and just choose 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
Okay.
It's like it shows if you were playing against another player.
You're saying 4? You choose 4 instead of 3
in competitive Pokemon. No, in anything goes mode is you bring all 6. You and I could have a full battle of all 6 Pokemon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
no,
I see what
that's
you're saying.
okay.
Yep.
Which is super cool because that's like the best way. And keep in mind, I think you've got a comment on this, but this is for back in the day. This was our first time seeing 3D Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I have a note about that.
Yeah.
No one, these kids today, they don't know how cool that is because we have so many 3-dimensional Pokemon games.
Yeah. Just games in general.
They just are. Yeah, like Shield, all of the mainline games.
Since X and Y.
Is X and Y still
X
top
and Y
down
were
though,
the
right?
first. Well, it's kind of an isometric camera, but it is still 3D models.
Oh, in the battle modes
yes,
and stuff.
yeah.
Okay. So like since X and Y, everything's been 3-dimensional. And then before that, you've got like Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon TV and Pokemon, well, Snap is pretty old, but you know what I mean? Like all of the games up until this point, they were all very much 2D top-down games.
Yes.
This is the first time we saw them in 3D.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
It blew our minds.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think it graphically held up pretty well.
I kind of do too.
Yeah,
you know?
it's got some, we'll talk about it later. It's got some choice feinting and attack movements, and for some of the Pokemon especially.
Hey, my boy Alakazam is the coolest Pokemon ever.
Some of them look downright terrifying. Do you know when you were talking about Hypno, and I was like, oh, Hypno's terrifying.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Hypno
In Pokemon
using
Stadium?
Psychic.
Yeah.
And Drowsy too. They both just kind of like their eyes flash and the blue and black magic around them, and it's like new.
Yeah, they went kind of all out
They went
on
beast
the
mode.
animations for this game.
Yeah.
A lot of the Pokemon have some really unique animations because that was the focus of this game, was showing Pokemon off in 3D.
And they have their cries, like the detail that they put into this game is what I think truly what makes it stand out. Like it's not just, oh, here's another battle royale game. It's here you can play with all 151 Pokemon, which was a big deal at the time. That was all of them.
Yeah.
And you can battle with your friends. You can, I mean, we didn't have Wi-Fi then, but you can battle with your friends in your living room on the couch. You can play mini games with your annoying brothers. You can play solo mode and take on the gym leaders and the Elite Four. Like there's so much to do in this spin-off game.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. And
you can rent any Pokemon you want. You don't have to go level up a bunch of Pokemon. You can just pick the Pokemon you want
on your team.
Right.
Yeah. It's super cool.
No Ultra Ball needed.
No, you could just try out Pokemon if you wanted.
That's right. So I guess when I was like, what are your initial thoughts? I was like, the vibes for me. I'm serious. Like as soon as that black screen comes on, you hear Pika, and then the like dun 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 dun. But you hear that, and it's like, oh, we're about to go to battle. We're about to do something. Like it just makes you feel like you're a Pokemon trainer, and it's very nostalgic, and I don't know, it's just kind of exciting. And then like Pikachu, I think like falls down with like Jigglypuff and like cute little dun 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 dun. It's just fun. It's the
intro's super cute. The vibe is
Iconic.
super good. It is. So there's also Stadium mode, which is the main game mode to like, it is kind of the meat and potatoes. It wasn't really the meat and potatoes for me personally as a kid. I think now if I were to really sit down and like actively try to beat Pokemon Stadium or like 100% Pokemon Stadium, it definitely is the meat and potatoes of the game because it features 4 different cups, which are the Pika Cup, the Petite Cup, the Poke Cup, and the Prime Cup. and each of those are at 4 different levels, or the last 2 of those, the Poke Cup and the Prime Cup, have 4 different levels to them. Bex, what are those levels?
Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball, and Master Ball.
I believe the 2 final cups, especially beating them on Master Ball, is going to become really important to unlock some of the secret things that you can unlock in Pokemon Stadium. So really important modes. Gotta say, I honestly don't think I ever even touched Stadium. Maybe I tried Stadium once as a kid, but I for sure never touched this next mode as a kid, which is the Gym Leader Castle mode.
Oh, I did.
It actually scared me.
It was terrifying looking because it didn't. When you click on the castle, doesn't like lightning strike.
Yeah, there's
and, like,
there's like
creepy.
a dark, cloudy background. Yeah.
No, the stadium mode, it's fine. It's like it's just it is truly just a go battle because that's the point of the game. I will say I like that as you're going to earn your gyms, there's like 4 trainers for each.
There is, yeah.
Gym badge in the Poke Cup and Prime Cup and Petite Cup and all that.
Yeah.
I did like it, but it was just it was intense no matter what, because you also what you picked your 6 Pokemon. That's all you were in it to win it for 8 badges, which is 8 times 4, 32 trainers, same 6 Pokemon.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And with increasing difficulty, obviously each badge, but also each individual trainer was difficult too. So yeah, it was tough to pick 6 Pokemon that you're just dedicated to. It's like, when you're playing the normal games, you can go back to your PC and you can switch them out. And that is not the case Pokemon Stadium. I think you forgot to mention that Petite Cup is the best cup that there is.
So Petite Cup, going a little bit more into it, is you are only able to use unevolved Pokemon that have not reached their final evolution. Baby Pokemon. That mode got transferred into a form of competitive Pokemon called the Little Cup.
Oh.
Yeah, where specifically in the Little Cup, I believe, I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that they go one step further where you can't even use the middle evolutions of Pokemon. You can only use the basic evolution, the basic starter Pokemon.
Can you use the middle evolutions in the Petite Cup? Because I thought it was just the first evolutions.
I think you're able to.
Let me consult my guide really quick.
Absolutely.
You're limited to the first evolutions of the first 150 Pokemon, so there's only 45 Pokemon. Same rules as before, where you choose 6 Pokemon, then you pick 3 of the 6 each battle.
Yeah.
But you're leveling. You have to do levels 25 through 30.
Yes.
Now let me tell you a little something about renting these Pokemon.
Okay.
When you rent the Pokemon for the Petite Cup, they all 25.
Yeah. Oh.
So you can go against level 30, and that may not sound that may not sound like a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
It's a big deal.
It's a massive deal.
I think it's the best one because it's the cutest one to like play.
It is very cute.
And it's challenging because you're limiting yourself to the
weaker evolutions.
The weaker evolutions, yeah. And not only are they weaker, but they're tiny. And if you rented your Pokemon like I did, that's challenging. And then even if you don't rent it, you have to like strategically plan it out. Like, okay, my Pokemon that I want to use for Pokemon Stadium are levels 25 through 30.
In the Pokemon games.
In the Pokemon game. I need to stop and play that real quick. So it's like, it's just kind of, it's challenging. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. They're young Pokemon, unevolved, that weigh 44 pounds or less and are 6 foot 8 inches or smaller.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's why Onyx is in
Man,
there.
that was even more specific, I think. Because I'm pretty sure that Little Cup in competitive Pokemon, although I haven't myself dabbled in it that much, I've only really heard about it.
Time to dabble and report back.
Yeah, absolutely. So it could be kind of the same rules, but it'd be interesting to know if that's where that came from. So Gym Leader Castle is the next mode.
Spooky.
Very spooky. In Gym Leader Castle, you face against all of the Kanto gym leaders, followed by the Elite Four, and finally your rival.
All of them?
All of them.
So they spoil Giovanni?
They spoil Giovanni.
Oh, we gonna have words, Game Freak?
But you have to
is it Game Freak at this point for Pokemon Stadium?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. But you do have to get to Giovanni first, which is made difficult by the fact that
It's hard.
It's hard. And every gym leader has 3 apprentices with them, much like the stadium mode.
Right.
And those apprentices in the Pokemon games, you go into Brock's gym and you know that his guys that are standing in the gym, they're going to help him out. They all have rock type Pokemon because that's what Brock uses. In Pokemon Stadium, that is not the case. They are specifically designed to mess you up. So if you go in and you're like, oh, this is Brock's gym, because in gym leader mode, you are in gym leader castle, you are actually able to change your Pokemon from gym to gym.
Oh, that's nice.
But so if you're unsuspecting and you're like, this is the rock type gym, I'm going to bring all grass types. Guess what? Those 3 assistants have fire type Pokemon.
That is wrong.
So you still have to actually like plan out a good team to be able to react to whatever these other team Pokemon might bring. And just like we were saying with the free battle and stadium modes, is that you see their team of 6, but it's randomly generated as to what they bring.
Looks like a bad Pokemon choice.
That is a good time to take a break from talking about the game modes and talk about some of the awesome quotes that you hear in the Pokemon Stadium game.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I did know that.
My most quoted games of all time are Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap, and Mario Golf.
Yes.
And I quote them a ridiculous amount of time.
All the time.
Like, unless you're counting me singing Zelda music, that is what I quote.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So some of my favorite quotes from this game, I'm laughing so much already. Okay. They're staring each other down. And there goes the battle.
There it goes.
There's a distinct difference in the number of remaining Pokemon. Will this Pokemon swap change the flow of battle? Looks like a one-hit wonder.
Obviously a quote that comes out whenever you one-shot a Pokemon and make them faint.
Looks like a bad Pokemon choice.
Wonderful.
It's so funny. Like hey, Game Freak, what is that narrator doing today? Like how is he doing? Like did he go on to do more narrating things?
I hope so. I wish they would bring that back for regular Pokemon.
Do we
battles.
know who he is?
Yeah, so according to IMDb, which is my favorite place to go for checking movies, games, and things like that
as
for
it should
casting.
be.
So shout outs to Ted Lewis. I don't know anything else that he's in because that's all it seems that he's credited for, but excellent job.
Thank you for being
the announcer.
Thank you for being the sound of my childhood, Ted Lewis.
And it's so funny too because the quotes are random and kind of weird, but they're very endearing.
Yes. Yeah.
They're super endearing. And
I like using them in context but out of context. Like I like when like if you drop your soda, I'm like, and there goes the battle. It's just fun. It's like they stand out, and he's a very dynamic announcer. Like they did a good job making you feel like you were participating in some kind of sporting event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they kept it super exciting, and like it's like listening to like WrestleMania or something in the 90s. Like it's very like engaging and a lot of energy and very quotable. Very remarkable.
Quotable.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful quotes. Thank you so much for sharing those with us.
Yeah. Thank you to the original Ted Lewis, and thank you to me for screaming them at myself in my notebook.
Yeah. So back into some other game modes, we have arguably what you actually called the demo mode, but it is the Battle Now mode.
That's what it seemed like to me.
And it really does. So Battle Now it allows you to just immediately get into a Pokemon battle, I believe with a friend or a CPU. But I found out through doing some research, you get randomly assigned one of 2 teams. So, and that's it. It's the only 2 teams made available for you. So you could play it 20 times and you'll always end up with one of these 2 teams.
You know what it kind of made me like, and this may be wrong, but this is what it made me think of.
Mm-hmm.
So like imagine it's 2000.
Yeah.
And you are walking through Walmart and you see the demo station of like with the N64 controller like kind of attached in the air.
Yeah.
The screen behind the screen.
You always had to like crane your neck up to look at it.
Well, yeah, up or it's in front of you. Like GameStop has theirs like right in front of you, I think, and then Walmart had them above your head.
Yeah.
And then so like just imagine like you go in and Pokemon Stadium is being advertised and you can demo it now and you can play Battle now. That's what it made me feel like they just accidentally left on all mainstream Pokemon Stadium games.
Yeah.
Like it's like they have their Walmart demo.
Yeah.
And they accidentally forgot to
Left
take
that.
it off. Because why?
That's a fun theory.
I have the game.
Yeah.
You know how I can try the game out? By playing the game that I purchased, that I have in my possession. Yeah. It's just weird.
It is a very strange mode.
Because even then, like, you could argue, like, well, if you just want to do a quick battle, there you go. But it's like, yeah, that's why they have free battle.
That's true. But I am thinking of something is what if you are wanting to get a friend into the game and they don't know Pokemon? So then
just show them how to get the Pokemon in free battle.
Yeah, okay. I guess you're right. You could just tell them, we could sit there and explain to them what the Pokemon are. I was thinking more like that way there's no like 100% I could see myself as a kid doing this as being like, oh yeah, you want to choose Pikachu and Squirtle and Charmander. I'm going to take Charizard and Blastoise and Raichu and Dragonite on my team.
That's because you are a mean child. Don't you devil's advocate me. This is a terrible mode. Shame on you. That's the one thing you got wrong, Pokemon Stadium, is that and how difficult you are. Okay? The end. End of the podcast. Goodbye.
Now, a much more popular mode.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
The Kids Club features 9 different Pokemon-themed minigames.
All wonderful, all perfect.
All wonderful, that are a blast to play. I'm interested to hear what your best one is.
Should we rank them?
No, we're not ranking the Pokemon minigames. So we're just going to go through and I think explain these as we bring them up.
You know, we probably won't rank them for this episode, but we could rank them like, we could do like an A tier, S tier, and publish our official Another Pokémon Podcast ranking of the mini games. That would be exciting.
That would be very exciting.
Okay, so we should do that.
Yes, absolutely.
And we will post it on X and Instagram.
Absolutely.
There's so many games though, and they're all really fun.
They are all a lot. I honestly don't think there's a single game that I don't like. I'm being serious. None of them are just straight flops, which I'll bring us in with what I'm thinking you might say is the worst, which is Magikarp Splash. So let's talk about Magikarp Splash. It's a very simple game. You press the A button and you make your Magikarp.
You make him splash.
You make him
flippity floppity uppity.
To touch a button at the top of the screen, and whoever can hit the button the most in the amount of time wins.
But timing is everything, because if you splishity splash 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 too fast, then you don't splishity splash
you
splash
just
splash
do little
too high.
hops. You gotta jump basically kind of right as you're coming down.
Yeah, you have to. You gotta get that maximum Magikarp bounce going.
There's also Bex. What game do you want to choose next?
My favorite is the Run Rattata Run.
Oh,
where you're like the little Rattata and you're hopping and you're racing and you have to hop over the hurdles.
Yeah, so you're on like a little treadmill, and there's all of these games are up to 4 players. By the way, well, they are 4 players. You either play with 4 people or with a CPU.
We should mention the modes. So you pick whatever mini game you want.
Yes,
of the 9, but you can also do who's the best contest and kind of set the rules there. So like if you want to play with a bunch of computers and you want to be a powerhouse and you want to feel powerful, you can make them all easy level.
Yeah,
and you can power through that, or you can play with your friends, or you can play with your unfortunate siblings that have to put up with you and have to deal with your competitive nature. I don't know anything about that.
Shout out to Scott and Steven. Love you guys.
So once it's easy, medium, hard. I actually don't remember if it's medium or not, but there's an easy level, a mid level, and a hard level. Once you beat consecutively 5 times, if you beat the Who's the Best competition 5 times in a row, you'll unlock hyper mode.
I had no... I didn't even find this in my research. Well, and you know what? That might be because your boy is not good at the Run Rattata Run game. Even to this day.
Yeah, it's just cute. It's like you're all little Rattatas running on your little treadmill and you're jumping over the things. And if you if you accidentally miss, which I don't ever do, if you accidentally miss a hurdle, he hits his little noggin on it and then he shakes his head. So it like takes a minute for you to be able to get back started.
It does. All right, well, I'll take the next one. So this is the other one that I was terrible at as a child, still terrible at now, but also pretty good.
How are you both bad and good at something?
Well, I don't really know how to explain it, but that's Dig Dig Dig.
Oh, you were great at that game. I was upset with you. That's my second favorite game.
I feel like I must be doing something wrong, but it's working really well, which all you do in Dig 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 is you play as Sandshrew and you push the L and R bumpers back to back constantly to dig a little hole, and whoever digs to the bottom of their hole first wins. And you get sprayed up by this lovely little water fountain, and it's super adorable. And I was terrible at that as a kid, but
playing some Smash Brothers is really
upped my finger speed.
Game.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that game though. And I was like, I remember the first time we played Kids Club, I was so confident. I was like, you about to get handed to you, like completely.
About to be Doug.
And then you kicked my butt.
I did.
Terribly too.
Yeah.
Like not even close.
These fingers move fast, boy.
I guess so. But yeah. No, that one has such a cute animation at the end
does.
too. Well then, since we went in order, my first favorite, my second favorite, let's talk about my third favorite, which is Clefairy Says, which is it's basically Simon Says.
Yeah.
Or
follow the leader type of game.
Was it still Simon Says, the little handheld where you had to hit the colors?
Yes.
It was still called Simon Says.
Yeah, that's still Simon Says. There's a chalkboard and a Clefairy teacher wearing
So
cute little
cute.
glasses. You're a bunch of little Clefairies in class.
And you learn it.
And on the blackboard, each turn, she writes up a direction. She'll do directions. The thing about that is, as a kid, I think it was probably a little bit harder. As an adult, it's only like 16 patterns or 16 directions.
I sing it with the Clefairy.
Do you really?
I literally go up, down, left, right, up, down. I sing it with them. I used to when I was a kid. I would put my controller down in my lap and would like
Would you
with them. Yeah.
So Becca's doing little points. So the way that the Clefairy do a little dancey dance,
Is they
they point their fingers in the direction that you have to put. When you get it wrong, unfortunately,
tragic.
you get a little bop on the head from a toy hammer,
It hurts my feelings.
and it goes bop.
And then it goes, burry, and then the Clefairy, when it loses, it's crying.
It's crying, and you can only get, you have like a little health bar, and you can only get so many bops on the head. But unfortunately, you failed the class, and it's basically the last Clefairy standing, which can result in a draw.
Yeah.
It's one of the few that actually I think are pretty commonly can result in the draw, especially if you're playing, I think, as an adult now, because it admittedly it is much easier to remember the directions because it does go over the same direction each time.
I feel like that one and Rock Harden, which we haven't talked about yet, and the Ekans one are probably the ones that can result in a draw
the most
easily. Yeah. Because it's not about getting to something the fastest, it's just about getting through it.
So, well, with that, I'll bring up Rock Harden.
Yeah.
Rock Harden is a game where you're playing as either a Metapod or a Kakuna.
Yep.
Early on in the Pokemon anime, there's a classic episode where Ash is fighting against a bug catcher in Viridian Forest, and they are fighting Metapod versus Metapod. He's not a bug catcher. He catches bugs. He's actually a samurai guy in the anime, but they are fighting Metapod versus Metapod, and the only thing that Metapod can do is use the move Harden. And so in this game, you use the move Harden to make your body like steel and survive an oncoming rock that just gets tossed out of nowhere.
They look really cool too.
They do.
Like, I don't know what I envisioned Harden to be, but I didn't envision it being like an actual metal coat of armor.
Yeah, if you take Metapod or Kakuna, 24 karat gold plate them, that's kind of how they look. And it's pretty sick.
I have a fun side story for you. So, you know, I told you were a mean kid.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a mean kid.
Oh, I know this side story.
So I told my brother that if he didn't get Metapod, if he got Kakuna, he wouldn't win. So he would cry if he got Kakuna because I convinced him that Metapod was stronger than Kakuna.
Didn't you do that though? Weren't you telling me that
I just won all the time because I was better at it.
Weren't you telling me though that I thought
older.
I thought you were a little bit more diabolical than that. Weren't you saying that when you got Kakuna, you would purposefully lose?
I don't think I would ever purposefully lose anything, but maybe to keep the bit going.
I think you were telling me that one day, but maybe I'm
that's
just
what I did. Yeah.
misremembering
No,
that.
but I did convince him that Metapod was stronger, and he would like get actually upset.
In a lot of these games where you could get one or the other of a type of Pokemon, it's random. You don't get to choose. But in Rock Harden, kind of the same idea. So like Clefairies, you have a health bar. Each time you manage to not harden, you get hit by a rock and your health bar goes down.
But do you think it's because it's not just health?
Yeah, it's
I was going to ask you, do you think that's power points gauge?
Oh, that's really intriguing.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it like
the longer
that. But
you
yeah,
use
that's kind of so in Pokemon mainline games, power points or PP are the amount of times that you can use a move before not being able to use that move anymore. If you have no power points left, your Pokemon uses a move called Struggle, which deals damage to the other Pokemon, but also to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never thought about it. Yeah, your little bar, as you use Harden, it goes down. So if you sit there and just hold Harden, it will decrease. But if you get hit, it also decreases.
Yeah, so maybe it's more like functionally, it's more like a stamina bar,
Yeah.
like in
But I
other
like
games.
the idea of it being
Yeah.
like a PowerPoint gauge.
Thanks.
Very cool.
Before we move on to the next mini game, why don't we take a quick break,
Absolutely.
refresh ourselves, get a little bit of caffeine, and then we'll get back to
To some
talking about
kids
it.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
All right. See you back.
See you
See you
back.
after the break. Welcome back. What's next?
Do you want to go ahead and talk about Ekans Hoop Hurl?
Yeah, Ekans Hoop Hurl it's basically like ring toss. So you've got these cute little Diglets popping up, kind of like whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
And you need to aim your Ekans, it's actually trickier than it looks. But once you hit that sweet spot where you want to aim, you technically you don't have to move anymore, because if you can get a diagonal just as those pop up in a tic-tac-toe diagonal line, you can pretty much hit them, as long as you know, like, it is sensitive where it's like if you barely pull your joystick back, you're going to go in that front row. If you pull it all the way back, you're going to go in that back row. Mm-hmm. So like really timing it well, knowing where to aim, that kind of thing. I really love that game.
Yeah.
The other caveat to it too is as you're collecting your points, each Diglet's probably worth 1 point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, these beautiful shiny golden Diglets will pop up, and those are worth 2 points or
I think
something like
3.
that. 3 points?
Yeah.
So those are the ones you want to go for. So if you got it lined up, but another one a golden one pops up, you got to shift a little bit.
You gotta shift your little Ekans self over to be able to aim for the golden one.
But I like that one. I think that one was probably, other than one we haven't talked about yet, I think that one was probably one of the most challenging ones for me as a kid. Definitely not definitely not an easy one for me as a kid.
That's one of the ones that I remember as a kid being much better at it than I am as an adult.
Okay.
I think it's more based off of the fact that I was so used to the N64 controller as a kid, because tons of Ocarina of Time, tons of Mario 64. So I got really used to that controller, and I just kind of knew how the analog stick felt.
I don't know what my excuse then was. It's because I can't aim, remember? I don't know how to aim things.
That's very
I still
true.
don't.
But when I picked it back up, there was kind of like a moment when I was playing it recently for this episode. At first I was like, oh my God, this is hard. But then it started to like come back to me, and I was like, oh yeah, if I hit right to here and pull this much far back, like you said, I will always hit that spot. But I definitely remember being much better at it as a kid. I'm talking about Snore War, which is a game that I am not great at. It's a very simple game. You play as Drowsy. There is a pendulum that's swinging back and forth in the center of the screen, and all you have to do is hit the A button when the pendulum hits the middle. And for whatever reason, I'm terrible at it.
I'm not good at this one either. I have learned that if you can wait for that reflective light,
okay,
as soon as it gets in the middle, it shines like a flashlight real quick.
Yeah.
If you can hit that helps. But it is challenging because it's not just like every time it goes in the middle, you click it. It's if you don't click it correctly, you start to pass out.
Yeah,
because you
Drowsy
hypnosis
starts
yourself,
to fall asleep.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also it speeds up as the round goes.
So you can't just keep a constant beat.
Right.
Because I was in band all through middle school and high school. I can keep a beat.
Right.
But it's the idea, it's the fact that it's speeding up consistently constantly.
It's picking up pace, and then you can keep a beat. But if you don't hit the first note at the right time, it's hard to keep. Like the rhythm.
If
going.
you get off, then you stay off.
You're
basically.
off, yeah.
And it's one of those where it's kind of like everyone's competing. I mean, obviously everyone's competing against each other, but it very much, the fact that you get drowsy gets sleepy, it really like gets into your brain to be like, I'm failing. I'm not doing a good, because it is very, you can tell he starts like wobbling back and forth. It's very like apparent that you are not doing well.
It's also fun. It's also kind of cute though, because he's such like a, like before slack off, I believe I would feel like if you asked me what Pokemon's lazy, I would say drowsy. It's almost like he's drunk, because he's like sleep drunk.
Yeah.
So he like stands up and he's like, I did it, and then he falls to the ground. So even when you win, you still fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because all the hypnosis just gets to you. He needs some espresso. You know what I'm saying?
He does need coffee. Espresso. Yeah. That's true. Do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, I'll talk about our least favorite game in the entire world. I think it's the most challenging. Sushi Go Round. The premise of this one is that you're all lick-a-tongues, and your goal is to eat as much sushi as possible, but the sushi has different points associated with each thing.
Which is randomly generated, by the way.
It's not. It tells you in the beginning.
No, I know, but I'm saying like it's not always the same food is worth the same value. It changes which food is worth what at the beginning.
It does?
Of each. Yeah.
So you have to eat the most sushi, but there's two things that factor against you that make this game ridiculous. The first one is that, much like a lot of Mario Party games, for instance, you are confined to a small space with all of the other players. So if a CPU or an annoying boyfriend is blocking you from eating sushi in a certain spot, that's it.
That's all you got.
And you really want to. It's moving. It's a
conveyor belt
clockwise.
Sushi restaurant.
So you really want to kind of be in front of them, so you can hopefully get the better, like, first choice. So that's against you. The second thing that's against you is that there is one or two flavors of sushi that are spicy.
Yes.
And I don't remember if you don't get points or if you get very few points or whatever, but the biggest kicker is, because this is all time sensitive games, it makes Lickitung freak out. He's like, it's hot. He's like, I need water. Get me water. Get me ice.
He kind of like runs around. Your character forcibly runs around the little ring that you're all stuck in.
He needs
some
milk.
Time.
Yeah. So he's physically running around. So you lose your spot, and it's moving so fast that you're not paying attention most of the time to what you're eating. You're just like, oh, I gotta eat this sushi. So that you trick yourself and you hype yourself up, and then you eat the spicy sushi, then you lose time, and then your boyfriend pushes you out of the way and gets the better sushi. This is not a true story, but yeah, so it's just chaotic.
It is,
and not in a way that I enjoy.
Yeah. I did learn, and I feel like it explains this, and I just didn't. I wasn't paying enough attention to understand it, but I learned today that the green tea is always just spicy. It always activates it.
So there's a sushi that's spicy that's like a slightly darker red, right?
Well, no. So they're yes, you are correct. Each sushi has a different spice level. And if you eat too much of the same sushi in a row, your spice level will go up.
So is the green tea, now I almost wish we had played like right before this. Is the green tea just temperature hot?
Yeah, it's just hot.
I'm
it's just hot.
It's wasabi tea?
It's not spicy tea. It is just hot tea. And so you get hot. You get a hot mouth. So you burn your mouth and you have to run around and cool it off. Even if you don't eat any green tea, inevitably you will have that happen to you, because you have like it doesn't show it anywhere on the screen, but you have like a spice meter that you are gauging up and end up setting off. And so everyone's going to run around a little bit. You can force it more if you end up eating green tea, which, like you were saying, is kind of part of the tactic, because you can push someone around so that if they're trying to get a piece of sushi, but there's a plate with green tea on it, you can push them so that their tongue goes into the green tea.
You can be strategic,
You can, but it is a very difficult game, I think, to pick up.
In all of your research, did you happen to look up what the sushi chefs or the waiters or whoever are screaming the whole time?
I did not.
So So because I was a little kid and they're probably yelling out like Japanese, like,
phrases
hey, we need this now, or hurry up or whatever. And I just don't know it because of a language barrier. But when I was a kid, I really thought they were saying, who needs salt? I want salt. And I was like, why do they need so much salt? There's soy sauce, right? Like, I was so confused. But yeah, I wonder what they're saying, because it very much, the one thing I will say about it is it's very cute because of the scenery. Like, you very much feel like you're in a busy sushi conveyor restaurant during lunch hour.
Very much so.
And Lickitun's just eating all these people's lunch.
Yeah.
He did not pay for that, and he didn't.
No.
He doesn't have a job.
No, it's almost like Lickitung just walked in and was like, I'm eating food now, because that's what Lickitung does.
Yeah. Oh, is that really what he does? Is he
so
kind of a jerk?
There's an anime episode where the whole thing is everyone's food keeps getting stolen, and it's because Lickitung keeps stealing it.
You know what?
Yeah.
I bet Lickitung would tear up some matzi sticks.
Oh, no. That's not happening. But yeah, so last but not least.
Oh, it's least.
I actually really like Thundering Dynamo. It's a button masher, so you can play as either Pikachu or Voltorb.
Not unlike what I told my brother about Kakuna and Metapod. I just always was like, why don't I ever get a Pikachu? I always got Voltorb. I was like, ugh, he's not cute. Although when he wins, he's super cute.
The concept of this minigame is that you are a Pikachu or a Voltorb, and you're in like a generator, and there will be in the middle of the screen, there is a kind of a button or a light that will flash either blue or green, and you just got to spam that button as fast as you can based off of the color of the light.
Unlike the Dig 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 game, you're not just repeating the same pattern quickly.
No, the light changes.
Yeah, exactly. And it could change in an instant.
And not only that, but if you are spamming for so like, I believe, and I'm going to throw some numbers out there, and these aren't real numbers, but I know that the concept of the game is that, so like for every button press that you get correct, you gain 2 points of electricity. But then if you hit the wrong one, you lose 3 points of electricity.
Oh.
So you're spamming the button, but then it changes.
I didn't even know you lost.
You do.
I just thought you like lost your momentum.
No, you lose. Your gauge drops by a certain amount if you hit the wrong button. So if you don't switch over to the new button when the light changes, you're sitting there spamming and just dropping your gauge.
Okay.
So it can be that's one of those games that it does have a timer, I believe.
It does.
But it can end up in nobody winning if all of you aren't paying enough attention.
I think it has a timer. Is that the
No,
only
I'm pretty
one
sure it does.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure all of them do.
Yeah, I think so, and probably understandably because they want to make sure nobody just gets stuck in a game. But
so when Pikachu wins,
yes,
he does a cute little flippy, right?
Yeah.
When Voltorb wins,
Yeah.
as ugly as he is, he gets this Puss in Boots when he's just begging and he's got his big kitty eyes.
Yeah.
That's what Voltorb gets. When
Does
he
it
wins.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's just beaming with pride. It's they somehow made Voltorb very cute when he wins.
Voltorb is cute. He's just an orb. Yeah. So that's every game in the kids corner, the kids club.
This should have been the Kids Club Fan Club podcast.
Honestly, the kids club was where I spent pretty much all I honestly, like I said, I do not remember. I must have messed with both of them.
Right.
I do not remember anything about the stadium or the gym leader castle from being a child. 100% know about it from being an adult, but like kids club, lots of memories in the kids club.
Because again, the ease of the Nintendo Switch and me being a handheld girly for life, I will be like, I want to play a game, but I don't really want to like dive into the depths of a plot-filled game. I'm going to play kids club for a little bit. I'll play a round of who's the best, and I'll make all my CPUs easy. And I will destroy them. But no, it was also like my brothers and I, until the GameCube came along and we had Smash Brothers Melee, which, because I know there's Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 64, but we didn't have that game.
Yeah.
Pretty much was the multiplayer game we played, because the only other multiplayer game I think we had was Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah.
And that was complex.
Yeah, but I love Jet Force Gemini.
Oh, so good. We played it constantly.
Yeah.
And because Stadium Mode wasn't 2 players, and because of the difficulty, like we really didn't, we as a young
collective kids. Yeah.
Did not play it very much. They would play Stadium sometimes, and I would play Stadium sometimes, but we both hated to lose. Scott and I both did. And so we were like, let's just play Kids Club. Yeah,
where one of you would lose either way.
And it was normally Scott at that age. It wasn't fair. I was older and more competitive.
Yes, very much so. So more options, because there are a ton of modes in Pokemon Stadium. A little less exciting, I think, for some of these, but there is the gallery mode. The gallery mode is actually only in the North American version of the game. So sorry, international listeners, that y'all didn't get to enjoy this mode.
Yeah, you must have really missed out on that printing.
So in order to use gallery, you had to have the transfer pack, which we haven't talked about this yet, which is makes a little bit of sense because we will get into it much more. But the transfer pack was a device that came with every copy of Pokemon Stadium, and it was a little thing that plugged into the back of your N64 controller, and it would allow you to put your red, blue, or yellow Pokemon cartridge into the transfer pack and connect it to Pokemon Stadium. What the gallery mode would then allow you to do is actually take pictures of those Pokemon from your game on backgrounds that were provided by Stadium, like different battle scenes and things like that. And then you could actually print those pictures out as stickers via the sticker station, which was the same sticker station that was used for another game on the N64 called Pokemon Snap.
Oh, wait. So is Sticker Station like a GameStop thing?
No, it's a Blockbuster thing.
Oh.
Yeah, which that's a throwback. They don't even exist anymore.
You use your transfer pack to put in your Game Boy, your yellow version.
Yes.
And let's say you have a beloved Metapod on your yellow version.
Sure.
And you want to take a picture of your Metapod.
Uh-huh.
So you set it up like in Legends Arceus.
Arceus, doesn't matter.
It's like Hylia all over again.
Yep.
You you can kind of dress up your Pokemon, dress up you can put you in different things. Okay. So it's like that.
Yes.
And then what do you do to get your picture from your TV to the Blockbuster down the street?
So that picture is saved to your cartridge.
Oh, it's saved to your Pokemon Yellow.
No, it's saved to the Pokemon Stadium cartridge.
Okay.
And then you would take it to the sticker station at Blockbuster. You would plug your cartridge in, and then it would read what pictures were on that game so that you can then print them out as little stickers.
That is so much more complex than I was thinking. So I do remember, I didn't have one, but I do remember the Game Boy printer.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't have one. So I was like, maybe they had an N64 printer?
I don't think they did.
Like an at-home one?
Maybe they had one as like
some rich kid had a sticker station in their house.
Oh, I'm sure. Some rich kid probably convinced their mom and dad to buy sticker station from Blockbuster. By the way, that would be awesome to
Wouldn't
own
that be
for
so
us
fun?
one day.
Now we're like we would like to be that rich
one.
kid. Yeah. No, that's crazy. That's really fun. And it was Blockbuster, because it was GameStop a thing in the 90s?
I don't
2000s?
think I remember EB Games.
I don't even remember EB Games. But I shopped a lot at like Digital Planet and like some Rhino games.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure if GameStop was in the 90s. Or if it was, maybe it was like the late 90s. Yeah, so that's the gallery mode. There's also the Pokemon Lab.
Help me. What's the point? You can check your Pokedex, but you can do that in the Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Just to talk to 3D Professor Oak?
It's 3D Professor Oak and 3D models of the Pokemon.
Okay.
Again, it can only be used if you have a copy of Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow inserted into the transfer pack.
Okay.
You are also able to, so remember in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, so you had your Pokeboxes, your storage, the PC, and if you wanted, each box could only hold like, I want to say like 9 Pokemon, because it was much smaller back then than it was now. And you couldn't like pick Hitmonlee out of box 1 while holding Hitmonlee, switch to box 2, put him in box 2, or transfer him with something.
It wasn't. It didn't get that good until the Hoenn region.
Yeah. It was a very complex, it was a time-consuming system.
Because Johto is pretty simple.
I think so.
Too.
I think Johto is the same, and then I think Hoenn got a little bit nicer.
Oh, yeah, because you could I remember that being you could could move
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
So, well, you can do that in Stadium.
Oh.
You are able to access your boxes and organize and store Pokemon and trade between cartridges. So weird. I don't know why you would do this. I guess if you were a lonely kid
Have you seen
that has Red and Blue and Pokemon Stadium and 2 transfer packs?
Same problem with like Four Swords and like other stuff that we've talked about before. If you did not have friends that had a Game Boy, that had a Pokemon cartridge, that also had a link cable to trade with, then you were not going to complete your Pokedex.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, because then you could have Red and Blue and Yellow. You could get the version exclusives.
Yeah.
The different fossils.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, I guess do you have to have 2
transfer packs?
You do. 2 controllers.
2 controllers,
Okay.
2 transfer packs.
Because I was like,
which is admittedly cheaper than a second Game
Another
Boy.
Game Boy,
And also
right.
a little bit more useful because one kid isn't going to constantly make use of a second Game Boy.
And if you're playing multiplayer, you both can have your Pokemon from the games instead of renting.
Yeah.
Too.
So it is admittedly, it's a more cost-effective way to
Yeah.
do that. The other thing that Pokemon Lab can do, which is something that we've kind of skipped over on purpose for other modes in the game that we already talked about, is that you can also accept prize Pokemon that were won elsewhere in the game. Some prize Pokemon being like in the Gym Leader Castle, once you defeat your rival, you are actually rewarded one of 8 Pokemon. That includes Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Eevee, Ammonite, and Kabuto.
Oh, Eevee is a game changer.
So if you beat Gym Leader Castle 8 times, you can get all of these Pokemon that you really, in the Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow games, you really only get one of them.
The starters is true too.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
So
I'm so used to that being like a normal thing.
To just
now.
trade with your, because nowadays,
eggs and
you can reach out online to anyone and be like, hey, I've got Quaxley who has Sprigatito and Fuecoco, and you can just find them. But back in the day, you were basically not, unless you had friends, you were not going to get the other starter Pokemon.
So Pokemon Stadium could really, if you were a kid living in the middle of nowhere and you had Red version, the end, and you couldn't get the exclusives, like Pokemon Stadium could kind of help you.
Admittedly, only if you can beat Gym Leader Castle.
Right. Well, yeah.
So it is a hard feat to do, but it is definitely possible. And there are other even.
The Eevee, though, really is a game changer because you only get one.
You only get one Eevee, and there's 3 evolutions.
Right.
Evolutions. Something else that is kind of fun about Pokemon Lab that I thought was funny is that it also will, so if you were to hack in a Pokemon using like a Game Shark onto your Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow version and made it over level 100, or if you were to use the infamous missing no glitch to get a Pokemon over level 100 and you transfer it to Pokemon Stadium and it's above level 100, Pokemon Stadium is coded to then revert it back down to level 100.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's kind of funny.
But the lab does that?
The lab does. Oh, yeah, sorry. The Pokemon Lab, yes, does that.
Yeah.
Next up, probably another big mode that a lot of people made use of, the the Game Boy Tower.
Loved it.
Yeah, right?
There's just something about, and I actually, when I played through Gold, when I bought Gold as an adult, I only played it on Pokemon Stadium 2's Game Boy Tower. Because I wanted it on the TV.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just like what I wanted.
Strange.
But yeah, no, I love it because you can play your Game Boy games on the TV.
Yeah.
Got these cute little themed frames, borders. Yep. Yeah. I love the Game Boy Tower. I thought it was fun.
There's also
so you can do Doduo, or there is a Dodrio mode.
There's a Dodrio mode.
Where you can speed up like your movement, which, dear Lord, what a game changer. Because that is my, other than like the limiting capacity on your pack and on your PC, like we just talked about, truly my biggest complaint about the first game is you move like a snail.
It's a grid-based game movement system, and you move one tile at a time.
Yep. So having Doduo mode where you got your VTech and your engine, you kick your nitro kit in your backpack when you kickstart off, like, yeah, sign me up. I'm ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Second to last mode to talk about here, we've got the Hall of Fame, which works similarly as the Hall of Fame in the mainline Pokemon series games, except one interesting little thing about it, you can register one species of Pokemon at a time. For instance, the Hall of Fame in Pokemon Stadium records each time you get through, I believe, the gym trainer challenge. It might also be the stadium mode. The point there is that if I use Charizard in Gym Leader Castle and register him for Hall of Fame, and then I use Charizard in the stadium mode and register it for Hall of Fame, that data gets rewritten.
Oh, it gets rewritten.
Yes.
I thought Hall of Fame was only if you won the Elite Four challenge. Is it when you win stadium mode too?
I believe it is.
Okay.
That's what my research was telling me. Because again, that's what I was saying kind of at the top of the episode is like, some of this stuff I'm not actually totally sure of, but all of the research that I did, multiple sources pointed it to.
I could be getting it mixed up with the mainline games.
Yeah.
Because, you have to,
yeah,
the end goal is the Elite Four.
It's very similar to that. I do want to bring up another special Pokemon that you can earn by doing the Hall of Fame, which this is one of those things that, if true, it sounds like Game Freak, Pokemon, and Nintendo were just kind of making fun of their players of their games, because by registering all 151 Pokemon in the Hall of Fame, which is a monumental task, you can get a Psyduck with the move Amnesia. So it's almost like they're saying, that was a headache and I wish I could forget about it.
Well, and it's also like, the Hall of Fame really gets you because it's all these empty plaques.
Yeah.
With spaces.
Yep.
Until you
fill it up.
them. Yeah. So
yeah.
I clearly, I don't think either of us ever completed that.
Not at all. No chance.
But now I'm like,
I didn't even know it was a thing.
I kind of want to challenge accepting.
Honestly, I don't know why a Psyduck with Amnesia would be super useful to have, but getting Pokemon that are rare, that have moves that they can't normally get in the game, is such a cool experience, to the point where often nowadays those Pokemon are given out just as event Pokemons, but this is like, it's like a badge of honor type of thing. It's like, yeah, I've got the Psyduck with Amnesia in my Pokedex, in my party, because I beat and registered all 151 Pokemon in the Hall of Fame on Pokemon Stadium. Like, what a cool playground kid you are.
I know what I'm doing once we retire.
So finally,
the most difficult, ridiculous part of the game.
We mentioned this at the top of the episode about your guide. Mewtwo is on the front and center of the cover. The final mode available to you in Pokemon Stadium as an option to play is the Verse Mewtwo mode, which is only unlocked after completing Stadium mode and Gym Leader Castle. Once you do so, Mewtwo's silhouette will be floating in the sky above the lovely little city that is Pokemon Stadium, which, by the way, we didn't mention that at all. The whole game menu layout is like a little city.
So cute.
It's very cute.
And your clicker isn't a clicker, it's the Magnemites.
Yeah,
circling
around
whatever. Yeah,
whichever area you want to go to. But in the versus Mewtwo mode, you battle Mewtwo. You bring a team of 6 and you battle Mewtwo. He's got maximum PP on his moves, so he's not going to run out of moves.
Oh.
Defeating him once launches the credits of the game. That's beating Pokemon Stadium, to defeat Mewtwo.
Never seen those credits.
No, neither have I. It also changes the title screen of the game.
Stop.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture?
I don't.
Doesn't it, when you, and I know you're looking up the title, but doesn't it, when you're in R2, doesn't the city get darker, more saturated, or go to nighttime mode or something? Or am I making that up?
I have no idea.
Okay.
So a normal title for Pokemon Stadium, the title screen is a bunch of the Pokemon that we know and love kind of charging at the screen. The new title has Pikachu, Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, and Mewtwo in a really cool, almost anime-esque poses, where Mewtwo's taking up the whole left side of the screen, and then Charizard, Bulbasaur, and Blastoise are kind of flowing down from the right with Pikachu in the center.
I just got up to take a look, and it really does look like an anime promo poster.
It does. It's super, super cool. So that unlocks what is known as round 2.
R2.
In Pokemon Stadium, which makes everything harder.
I'm like, this game is so difficult.
Let's make it more difficult.
That I've never even seen their master mode, their R2. I've never seen it before. And I never will because I'm not good at Pokemon Stadium.
But that's not even the end. Once you get to round 2, you then have to unlock Mewtwo again by defeating the Stadium mode and the Gym Leader Castle mode. And then you defeat an even harder version of Mewtwo where not only does all of his move have max power points, he also just has max stats in general. And after that, you unlock a special hidden sticker.
Well, so I found it, I consulted my guide, and you're given a set of wallpapers that you can access in gallery mode. When you're on the gallery main screen, then you can click print on those. And then apparently the print option will now change to bonus. When you do bonus, you will now have access to a set of 16 bonus wallpapers from all the different modes that you have even to print out as stickers.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it is stickers, but it's like there's 16 of them and they're like wallpapers of some kind. So probably like a bunch of different Pokemon in each one or something like that. Yeah.
And unfortunately, none of us were good enough to be able to do it. And now the sticker stations are gone.
Yep.
So it's just something that's lost to time.
Well, we could still get the wallpapers. We just won't be able to print them out.
So that's all the modes available to you in Pokemon Stadium. I do have a couple other little notes about just fun little things, fun little trivia involving Pokemon Stadium, if you don't mind me going over that.
Okay.
First thing is that there is a 7-letter character limit on the trainers' names in Pokemon Stadium, which caused a couple of interesting changes to trainers or trainer types that you fight in the regular mainline Pokemon games. I'll give you just a couple examples that I find really interesting. So Giovanni, my boy, the best gym leader of all time, normally spelled Giovanni, now in Pokemon Stadium, just Giovanni. So he loses a character in his name. The youngster.
Is this youngster or something?
Nope, it's lad.
Little lad.
What do you think engineer gets changed to?
Machine?
Mr. Fix.
Oh, I know Mr. Fix.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about bird keeper?
Flyer?
Bird boy.
Okay.
And my possible favorite, scientist. Got any guesses?
I don't.
Lab man.
You know what? It's kind of like Ken's jobs in Barbie. It's like, what do you do, Ken? Beach.
I'm Beachkin. I'm lab man.
I'm doing lab, and I do lab really well.
There are also a couple of things that Pokemon Stadium fixed from the mainline games at the time, which were Red, Blue, and Yellow, which were that the HP bars are both active Pokemon numerically display their HP.
Oh, yeah, because it was just like
it was just a bar. It was just a random bar. Yeah. The duration of sleep got reduced to 1 to 3 turns. Sleep could actually work indefinitely in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. You could never wake up.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I did notice when I was getting my butt kicked playing Pokemon Stadium for this episode that the ice never, ever, ever, ever melted when you got frozen.
And it's still broken to this day. Ice is a very big problem. Being frozen is a very big problem.
I was going to ask you, because you said sleep could go on forever and it was fixed in this game. I didn't know being frozen was always that annoying.
No, that's always been annoying. Yeah. But it has a much lower chance to hit, though.
I'm like, it literally froze my Charmander.
Yeah.
And he's like, he has fire on his tail. Theoretically, that should melt.
Yeah. There's also no more sleep locking in Pokemon Stadium, which sleep locking was something that you could do in Generation, I want to say 1 and 2, but it might have also been removed from 2, which was where you could put every single Pokemon that a player had to sleep.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And in Pokemon Stadium, if you have one Pokemon in your party is asleep, none of the other ones can be put to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's very good. Moves no longer have an additional 1 in 256 chance to miss. So fun little fact, if you were playing Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow, every move, even moves that had a 100 accuracy, had a 1 in 256 chance to miss. And that's just due to the programming. If you connect a Pokemon from your Game Boy cartridge to Pokemon Stadium and it only knows HM moves, Pokemon Stadium is how you can actually get rid of those HM moves. You can teach it a TM move and get rid of the first HM move.
Is there not a move deleter?
There's
in
not
the
a
original
move
games?
deleter in the
Oh,
original
so that is a
games.
big deal. Yeah, there's a lot going on. That Pokemon Stadium was like, here, let me band-aid this for you.
Absolutely.
Stuff that we take it for granted.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
for sure.
Pokemon Stadium was revolutionary.
I'd also like to, I know we need to wrap up, but I also would like to touch on the shiny mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
It's not true shinies, so it's not like I went out and I found a shiny Rhyhorn, I brought him into the game, but it did something weird where depending on the nickname that you gave your Pokemon in this game, they may have like a different hue.
Color palette. Yeah.
And it could be like if you lowercase Rhyhorn, he'll have a blue tongue.
Really?
Like just weird stuff like that.
Interesting.
So, and I noticed too, like as I was battling the trainers, the
Yeah.
CPUs, that their Pokemon, if we were using the same Pokemon, that they sometimes had a different hue because I'm renting Pokemon, so none of my Pokemon were
Yeah.
nicknamed.
Yeah.
They had different hues too.
They did.
I thought that was neat.
Yeah, it is. It is really neat.
The first shiny Pokemon.
The first shiny, well, kind of. Technically, this is getting into some really meta stuff, but technically you can actually catch shiny Pokemon in blue, red, and yellow based off of their IV stats. If you trade them up to gold and silver where shiny Pokemon existed, they do become shiny. It's really interesting.
Well, you can't see how pretty they are
In those games,
because there's
yes,
no
I know.
colors. But no, I thought it was really cool. I was like, oh, that's like such a weird thing, but like a weird gimmick kind of thing. But I still liked it a lot.
Do you got any other closing thoughts on Pokemon
Well, yeah, I just
Stadium?
want to know, were there any Pokemon models or fanning sequences or anything like that stood out to you?
I like how when Alakazam gets hit, he like lays over on his side and like holds his hand in his head and just kind of floats back up like that and then stands back up once he's like fully up in the air. He looks like a very cool dude. I also like that when Slowbro uses the move Headbutt, the way that the animation plays out is the cloister on his tail bites him and causes him to freak out and run in and hit the headbutt. I like the fact that when Jinx faints, the only thing left of her is her hair.
Her little wig comes off.
Yeah. What about you?
My Pokemon fainting always made me so sad. Like watching little Eevee look up at the sky like, Father, what have I done? I'm sorry. Forgive me. And like fainting and crying. Some of them cry. Caterpie's eyes water. Heartbreaking.
Really?
Totally.
Oh, yeah, just like in the anime.
Yeah, it's really sad. But the one that really makes me laugh, which, as we talked about, became an Easter egg in Smash Brothers,
yeah.
is Jigglypuff's fainting scene. Jigglypuff is big old poofy Jigglypuff, but if she faints, she flattens like a Looney Tunes pancake and then just floats to the ground like a piece of paper and then disappears. And it's like so ridiculous and funny looking, but no, I love that. I love when they come out from the Pokeballs because they do like a stance of like they're ready to go. So they kind of like an Arcanine, it like roars at you. If it's execute, it just kind of goes, yeah, we execute. We gonna get it. We gonna fight.
Yeah.
I really love and appreciate the models that they rendered for this game. Like I do. I feel like they put a lot of love into it.
They did. One little fun fact though about the models is that Electabuzz famously has 6 fingers on each hand.
Yep. They mess with my boy.
And it stays that way in the sequel to this game, which we'll talk about it in another episode.
I also like that when you are underground, like you use dig or you fly or whatever, you can see, because, you know, of course, when your opponent attacks you and you're underground or when your opponent attacks you and you're in the air because you flew, you can see the move that they're using kind of fly around you. Like it's not just like on the Game Boy, it's your move missed. You can see it missing, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I also really enjoy the victory music when you get a badge in the stadium modes. It like does this cute little magical thing and then the badge like just pops onto the screen.
Yeah.
If you win, if you accomplish something, it rewards you. It makes you feel like I got my rainbow badge. Like
it is absolutely.
Anyway, we obviously hate this game, so
obviously. But of course, we want to know what y'all think about this game.
Yeah, please. If you have fond memories like we do, we want to know. If you have never played before and you have Switch Online, highly encourage you to check out at least the Kids Club. I mean, that's the best thing. Clearly, that's the thing we loved the most.
Yeah.
But no, I encourage you to check it out and let us know what you think. And, if we're all still friends in our 80s, we can retire together and try to take on R2.
Absolutely.
Where can our friends listening at home share their thoughts with us?
So you can share your thoughts with us at any of our socials, which include Instagram and X. Those are the things that we are most on. You can also reach out to us on Blue Sky, Threads, TikTok at Another PKMN Pod.
If they don't want to talk to me, if they just want to talk to you, Galutrad, where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Galutrad. That's GALUTRAD. And what about you, Bex?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Rebellody, REBELODY, except for Instagram, where I am unfortunately forevermore I_am_Rebellody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And again, let us know your thoughts. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you listen to us. And we hope to see you next time on our next adventure.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm going to throw it in the trubbish.